Hey everyone, on today's Super Hype, our anime arc comes to a shocking conclusion with Survival Horror Part 2, now! Last week, we discussed the origins of survival horror. These trailblazers, Clint Eastwood, Josie Wales style, setting the tone, taking no prisoners with their passion. And now we look at where we are today. Dead Space. This is the first time in my life that a survival horror game utilized high-definition graphics. I was living in San Francisco at the time, going to SF State. This is the first time in my life that I lived alone, so I told myself, I'm not gonna play this game until nightfall, because playing it in the daytime would be a disservice. Here I am, alone in my apartment room, 1:32 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm exploring the beautiful, horrifying USG Ishimura when boom! Necromorphs! Gah! I feel isolated, I'm low on ammo, and I relish in it. Alright, let's bring it back down to earth. I will never forget the first 90 minutes of Outlast. It sent shivers down my spine. I was walking around my apartment in real life trying to make sure some psycho killer wasn't around. I respect the pace and atmosphere of this game. The first 90 minutes, nothing is happening, and yet you are still horrified the entire time. When you're trying to hook gamers early, that is a gutsy move, and it paid off. PT. Jesus. This is two masterminds of their craft. Hideo Kojima, Guillermo del Toro, working together, fusing as some sort of tag team made in heaven, like Ben and Jerry, only instead of delicious ice cream, this is the most amazing video game experience ever on a console. This transcended reality. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Just a few short months ago, we were given the gift from the heavens, that is, the evil within. After spending 9 years away from the genre he helped define, Shinji Mikami returns to his roots. Elements of Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4 are palpable in this love letter to the genre. It's unforgiving, brutal, and tense. Ammo is limited, and you are never safe. Claire de Lune is the best save music of all time. The environments are foreboding and varied, and there is a haunted mansion, so you can count me in. So that's it. Survival horror, obviously a genre that means a lot to me personally. And as we found out last week, it means a lot to you personally as well. I got a few comments that I picked out. This one's from Surf Spider. System Shock 2. Remember, it is my will that guided you here. It is my will that gave you cybernetic implants. The only beauty is that meat you call a body. If you value that meat, you will do as I tell you. System Shock 2 is still holding up as one of the best survival horror games. You can play that today and still be scared. This one comes from Amos Cow 74. Huber, you are a mentalist. I don't much care for that show. It's on CBS, not really my style, but thank you anyway. Favorite scary moment? Zombie dogs crash smashing through windows in Resi 2. First survival horror game I ever played. Did you see that coming? Sphincter popping crazy. Obviously, anyone who calls out RE2 is #1 in my book. Love you, buddy. Much appreciated. Shinji Mikami all day long. Survival horror, my game. Let's continue. This next one comes from Sean. One of the most memorable horror game moments was playing Phantasmagoria. I was about 10 or 11, and the moment that sticks out most wasn't anything gory or crazy. I think it was early on in the game, and the lead girl is lying on a couch. These creepy hands start grabbing her face, and they suddenly suck her into the couch again. was so creepy as an 11-year-old sticks with me to this day. And obviously, yes, Phantasmagoria on PC had live action. If you haven't seen this, at least YouTube it, because it will shock you. What I remember most about Phantasmagoria is that you could tell it you're an adult or a child. If you said adult, you're gonna see boobs, you're gonna see blood, and you will have nightmares that affect you just like they did to Sean for the rest of your life. Coming up on GT this week, we have on GT Live, Jeff Keighley in the house. It's gonna be jolly. The final boss from this week, I think you're really gonna like it. Also, definitely always check out Mandatory Update. And it's still Bloodborne week. The Bloodborne is still happening. All right, everybody, that's the show for this week. That's Huber Hype for this week. As always, I'm at Michael Huber on Twitter. Please let me know what you think of the show, things that you would want to change. And also, I want to know your favorite survival horror games from the more recent years on your more next-gen consoles, your 7th and 8th gen consoles. I'm curious to know what you like that's come out in the last few years. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. It's time for Huber's Q. If you like Goodfellas, if you like The Godfather, if you like Boardwalk Empire, imagine playing a story of that caliber in a video game. Check out Mafia on PC if you can. It is still playable and it is still amazing. This open world is the backdrop to a perfect linear story about revenge, redemption, and murder. You must play it. Bon appetit.